Assalamu alaikum and welcome back to Prime Life. Some passions run deep, like a rich chocolate ice cream and caramel swirls. Today we sit down with Kamal Manilal, the founder of ROSKA Artisan Ice Cream. From architect to ice cream maestro, Kamal's story is a delicious tale of following your dreams and creating something indulgent. Let's dive into his journey, his inspiration, and how passion for ice cream has transformed his career. Kamal, you've had a fascinating career trajectory, from architecture to ice cream. Can you tell us what inspired you to make this unconventional switch and pursue your passion for ice cream?
Thanks. First of all, thanks for having me on the show. I think it was quite an interesting journey. I was in corporate for 21 years. I think it was a lot of fate and sort of where the universe was pushing me towards. So, like I said, I was in corporate for 21 years. I was retrenched 3 times in 4 years. Lost my dad during COVID. Finished an MBA. So it was a very rough time for me in my career. 15 years ago, a friend of mine had gifted me a little ice cream machine for my birthday. And I am a foodie, so hence the gift as an ice cream machine. So I made some ice cream, enjoyed it with friends and family, took a bit to work, and then put it away. And 14 years later, going through all this stress and heartache at work, I woke up one morning, and as I'm going through Facebook, I navigating the pictures on Facebook, and I see the same picture of my ice cream machine come up as one of my memories. And immediately, something just clicked in my head and said, hey, why don't you just make some ice cream? It wasn't to start a business. It wasn't to, think about the long-term business growth. And it was purely just to get my mind off the stress and to do something that I was passionate about. So I worked out the ice cream machine, started making some ice cream, took some to work. And eventually, I think it was around March 2020, just before COVID level 5 kicked in, I posted some pics on Instagram and it kind of blew up on Instagram. And I think October 2021, we had to move out of the home because I had converted the dining room into an ice cream kitchen, and we moved into premises. And that was the first time we basically started officially running ROSKA Artisan Ice Cream. And it was quite a challenge, but that's basically what navigated me towards this. I think it was just the universe and the signs telling me, like, you need to do this, and I guess it was a passion, so it was easy for me to take it on, and that's where we are.
I think that's a clear example of doing what you love also gets you to places you never expected, especially with now from coming from such a corporate world and just experimenting on something that you love. I mean, every kid loves ice cream from young, and you doing this now as you projecting through your career. It's just also exciting. I'm sure it's less stress actually. No distractions, I would say, obviously, as well. So what are some of the challenges actually you faced during establishing ROSKA Artisan Ice Cream, and what lessons have you learned along the way?
I think, one of the biggest events for us when we started ROSKA Artisan Ice Cream was obviously trying to find a method of how we operate and how we manage our costs. So from a financial perspective, we had to be very smart about not throwing too much money into machinery and equipment, because usually what happens is, you kind of put so much money into it and you realize that you've got no working capital to actually run the business. So, you need to buy goods and raw materials to actually make the products, to put the ingredients together and so forth. So that's one thing that we had to kind of manage very closely. We were very fortunate as well. We had a few people approach us in terms of, looking at the business and saying, hey, we'd like to help you guys out on this. We can see it's got growth potential. So we were very fortunate in that sense. But nothing was provided as a grant. Obviously, all loans, we had to pay the interest back on the loans. And, it was tough beginnings. It was real. And we had to think about how we spent our money in the business, very seriously. I think that the other challenge, like the major challenge that we kind of went through, was definitely load shedding.
Must have been a headache as well.
It was absolutely insane. I mean, I think we were getting into the prime sort of time of load shedding. We hit level 5 lockdown, and sorry, I need to restart that. No, so we basically hit, I think, the worst time of load shedding. And, we had to figure out how we would get our machines to continue running, and how we would, once we hit that load shedding sort of 4-hour period, we had to figure out how we were going to run our machine so that we could still sustain and get some productivity out. So literally, we would switch off everything. We would connect a little small generator to one churner, one chest freezer, and we had customers, and we had to kind of deliver to these customers. So the biggest fear and the biggest challenge was making sure that we could deliver product that was set, that was firm, and not icy and all melted.
Something, and that residue at the bottom of some ice creams have that ice layer you're talking about. So
Yes.
you want to avoid that at all costs, obviously.
Yes.
Wow, that's actually a really mountain you climbed, I would say, just to get to this level, especially with the things that are happening in our country with the lockdown from back then till the load shedding, especially. I mean, that actually killed a lot of businesses in that sector, especially for ice cream. I know myself, some food went off in the freezer and things like that. So so hey.
Yeah, so those were just a few of the challenges, basically, but one of the more prominent challenges that we had to go through.
No, man, that's quite interesting. No, it's been quite a journey for you, I would say. And obviously, we live and we learn through the best of things. And yeah, no, man. With that being said, it's just amazing of what you guys have created, especially with the flavors. You're not just creating traditional flavors; you're also creating and introducing unique ones as well. So, can you name a few unique ones as well as where you get your inspiration for these novel flavor combinations?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, a lot of the flavors that we have produced and created are obviously flavors that I've been accustomed to during my childhood and growing up during my childhood. I basically, just fond memories of being a kid, going out, and the ice cream boys would come by, and there would be flavors that I would really love to purchase from the ice cream bicycles that would come by. And I think a lot of these flavors were kind of just, it evolved in my mind, and I just wanted to go back to that sort of feeling and that emotion that I associated to being a kid and tasting those ice cream flavors that I really enjoyed. I think also what has happened is that, obviously, you can't be everything to everyone, so people have their favorites. And so what we try and do is we try and accommodate or cater to the market of people's sort of general favorites, your vanillas, your cookies and cream, your Belgian chocolates, your salted caramels. But along with the industry and where we're kind of exposed to in terms of the restaurant market, a lot of inspiration has actually come from chefs in the industry. So a lot of the times I would get approached and I would be asked, can you do a specific flavor for us, like a chai dark chocolate? And I would think, okay, that sounds very interesting. So what are the flavor profiles that we would need to look at and bring together to kind of bring this flavor across to someone that would be enjoyable? There's other flavors, like also a limoncello flavor that we do. Yes, we do a soji flavor. We do that for custom restaurant offerings. We do a dulce de leche, where we actually take condensed milk in a tin and boil it for 2.5 hours. And the product of what you get after that is this amazing toffee caramel goodness that comes out of the tin because of the sugars in that have kind of melted down and kind of roasted in the tin, and that's what you get out. So those are some of the cool and wacky flavors that we've done. Burfi flavor is obviously one of our top flavors as well. And I mean, I take inspiration from my grandfather, who in his own way was kind of a dessert person as well. He would make burfi, and he would do it on a large scale, and people would actually come to him and buy his burfi for weddings and functions and so forth. So it was one aspect of an ice cream flavor that I felt I had to encapsulate in my offering. And so took his recipe, chopped it up, adapted it for ice cream. And yeah, we basically got a product that was amazing. And today it's being served in quite a few restaurants. So we're quite proud of that one. But that's where all the inspiration comes from and all the unique flavor profiles come from.
Lovely. I think also what sticks out is you not just serving the basic chocolate, vanilla, like you said, and caramel. You're actually, I would say, innovative in this industry. I mean, just to get approached by someone to say, hey, how are you doing? Can you make me a toffee something, toffee caramel with some shortbread in it or something? You can actually do that and put the combinations together. I would say that's really impressive. That's really something that I think not many people are doing actually, as well as Haagen-Dazs. You just get the same flavors, but they're not innovative. They're not doing anything to up the next flavor or come out with something new. I mean, just to have a soji flavor would not just tackle obviously the Indian market and that type of sort. I think if people actually give out the time and taste it, I'm sure it would be
Yes,
something
and I think
really
it's
nice.
yes,
I
and I
mean,
think
just with
it's
me not even trying it, I'm already thinking that ice cream could be actually a really, really tasty ice cream.
yes, yes,
So
yes.
what were you?
No, no, exactly. And I think it's a lot of education as well. Like obviously a lot of people know what burfi is, they know what soji is, they know what a saffron ice cream is, but a lot of people don't as well. So it's about educating the market and getting them to try new things. A lot of people would go back to their fail safe of a cookies and cream or salted caramel or chocolate, because that's what they enjoy. But I think, if they really understood the flavor profiles that are going into certain unique ice cream flavors, I think we could definitely, create some new favorites for these people.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a good bridge to market, big bridge to gap actually,
Yes.
and take on actually. So
Yes.
we've heard that you source local organic ingredients wherever possible. Can you talk about the importance of supporting local farmers and sustainable practices in your business?
Yeah, 100%. I think, you know, we are a small business and we are growing slowly but surely. And I think the most important thing that we've realized is that as we are small businesses, there are many hundreds of thousands of them out there. And what we like to do is we like to support that pipeline of economic development. I think it's such an interesting concept to understand how cash flow works for various businesses, and to understand if you are supporting a small business, in turn they supporting you, and you then giving them the ability to generate cash flow so they can continue running their businesses. A lot of the times also in the small businesses, we've reached out to local businesses in the area that help us with supply of spices and ingredients. And I think, it's important to create that livelihood. It's important to create this livelihood among small businesses, to create the growth, to help them to grow, to help them to be sustainable. And I think we respect that journey. We understand that journey. And we would always prioritize a small business who could supply us and help us to achieve our goals in the same way they're trying to achieve their goals. So that's a really important concept for us. The local farmers also, it's important that we can understand what is their livelihood and what helps them to grow. I just recently also got quite involved in understanding how farmers actually have to manage their crops and how they have to manage the different products that they produce. And it's a very, very hard business. We're in ice cream, and but I mean, there's factors that we control. They can't control certain factors like stock or weather, or just soil nutrition and all those types of things. So in terms of the milk that we get as well, those are coming from local farmers, obviously. And it's a shared value concept. It's about being able to grow together, to be able to share the value so that you can create more shared value across the community.
I think that's very important that you mentioned that working together is actually something not many people do these days, especially with a lot of companies, not even within ice cream. They seek to do things themselves and to kill someone out of the market rather than work with you. Like, say I'm coming into the ice cream business, I'm sure you would be open to guiding me rather than just shoving me out, because I'm not coming in obviously as a competitor. Like you said, there's hundreds of thousands of people doing this type of business, but also likewise with other businesses. If I'm in clothing, example, there's how many people doing
Absolutely.
clothing, so it's all about working together, seeing how we can better each other. If I can bring some benefit to you, and obviously you're going to bring benefit to me with knowledge and upliftment obviously in the industry.
Absolutely.
So I would say, as the visionary of the behind ROSKA Artisan Ice Cream, what would you say is your ultimate goal and your dream for your business?
I think I think the most important thing for us is we'd like to obviously be able to grow. We'd like to be able to develop into a very successful business. We'd like to be at a point in time where we are seen in every retail store, when we are seen in every restaurant menu, and we'd like to foster good relationships along that process. I think, generally there's a lot of kind of stereotypes against suppliers and customers and so forth. And you'll notice that customers kind of have this very negative outlook towards suppliers, and they feel as if, they kind of dictate what happens and how it happens and so forth. But I'd like also for customers to understand that in a growth journey and a relationship journey together, that the supplier is also trying their hardest to kind of maintain a good relationship. And not all the suppliers are the same out there. So for me, it's about fostering good relationships, which I feel is an important thing about where we are in our business in the future. As a goal that we'd like to achieve is for people to understand that we really do try our best to make them happy and to serve the product that they serve to their customers. And then I think, like I said, we want to be in a position where we have automated a lot of our processes. We've taken the strain of time and effort in terms of what goes into making actually ice cream. That's that takes a lot of work and effort. And we'd like to be successful as any other business. We'd like to be known. We'd like people to know who we are. We'd like people to go into a store and see ROSKA on on a freezer there and say, hey, we know ROSKA. We saw the interview. We read the story. And I think that for me is the main thing, and understand that what we stand for is quality and service. I think customer service to us is of utmost importance. I reach out to every single customer of ours, and I'm on every single customer group. So whenever there's an issue, I'm there, and I'm there to face it and front it and make sure we resolve it.
I think that's very uplifting to hear, especially for myself, to push and obviously to not give up on your dream, especially in your business, to aim for the highest win, and also going through every step obviously is the main thing. Obviously, you're not trying to jump to another level. You're keeping it small for now, and within time it's going to branch off into those sectors. I think it's really, really lovely what you guys are doing.
Thank you. Appreciate
your ice cream has certainly captured the hearts and also the taste buds, I would say, of many. For those looking to indulge in ROSKA Artisan Ice Cream, where can we actually find it?
So we are quite widely available through most of the super spas in Johannesburg and some in Pretoria. So you can find us at the Jackson's Real Food Market as well, at both stores, the Kyalami and the Bryanston branch. We are also quite widely available at a number of premium restaurants and hotel groups in Johannesburg. And obviously our key flagship store is in the Checkers Hyper in Sandton City. We have a full experience offering at the store, where we've got a scooping cabinet where you can come in, grab a sugar cone with a scoop of ice cream, with all our sort of creative, unique flavors that I have the pleasure of being able to experiment with. So that's pretty cool. We also do stick waffles, and we do crafted milkshakes there. So I think, we have freezers that are kind of strategically located at various sites, so to make it easy for people to come in and find the product and enjoy the product. And we love the feedback. We take the feedback constructively, and we love connecting with our people and the customers out there. So I think, it's quite easy to find a tub of ROSKA. And if you don't know where one is, please feel free to reach out to us, and we're happy to point you to the closest one.
Definitely. I think your socials also would be one of the options, just to find out where we can find you. And that would be guys at ROSKA Ice Cream, Artisan Ice Cream on Instagram. That's how I found you guys as well.
Yes.
So as well as also not being in supermarkets and things like that, I have read up that if we're taking a flight now from Joburg to Durban, I can sit in the lounge and actually order one of your guys' ice creams in one of the airports. So it's in OR Tambo, King Shaka, and Cape Town, if I'm not.
It's at the SAA business lounges. So we actually ran a promo with them for the December period in conjunction with Discovery, where we did a promo for serving ice cream to their guests in the business lounges. So we were very fortunate to be able to do that. So a lot of friends and family also, while traveling, would snap up a picture of the ROSKA tub and send it to us, and it was a proud moment. And we also I think we are served on flight with some of the SAA flights that go to South America.
Thank you so much, Kamal. It was really lovely having you, from talking about your massive career change to having the best, obviously, ice cream combinations out there. Thank you so much, guys. We really hope that we can get some feedback for the ice cream as well. Please don't hesitate to go out and have a try, as well as I'm going to do that as well. Thank you. We will now be heading to an ad break. Thank you so much.